Hello everyone and welcome back to the tournament for the Spearhead in August. Now I wasn't able to essentially cast the games yesterday, so that's why I'm going to be doing them separately here now. Let's go through the players, shall we? We have Professor as Panzer Tactics for the Waffen-SS, Jürgen as Ostdivision for the Wehrmacht. And for the Allies, we have Captain Airstrike as Rifle Company for the USF. And we have Irrigator, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, as the USSR. Because this is a tournament, I'm a little bit more lax with my rules of casting games with mixed allied teams, but you probably heard that before. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Because this is a tournament match, I have no idea how long it's going to be. It's probably it can either be long or it can be short, because some tournament games have been relatively short in my experience. But sometimes I can be surprised, you never know. Still, Waffen-SS Panzer, and he's going straight for Hitler Youth squads. Okay, that's gonna be interesting. We also got some Ostruppen coming out, some Eastern Europeans, forced to fight for the Germans. We got a rifleman and 2 blue and grey for the USF, and we have artillery division picked for the Soviet Union. Okay, that's gonna be an interesting one, hopefully. Now I'm gonna stop my usual recording schedule for the time that this tournament goes on, because I want to focus on the tournament first of all. Get all that out of the way before I focus on recording other stuff. But the tournament is also resulting in multiple videos a day, more sporadically, so just be prepared for that, obviously. Looks like the Waffen-SS is having a little bit of a firefight here with the Americans. Not sure if the Waffen-SS will win out in the long run here. But it's because these are not Sturm Grenadiers, these are Hitler Youth Panzer Grenadiers, so not the same. Americans are going to flank too with the blue and grey. There was more Hitler Youth trying to push up here though. And the blue and grey are mowing down the Hitler Youth. Well, this is a big loss for the Waffen-SS. They've lost practically all their troops. Oof, that's a really big loss. Ostruppen are covering up their front line though. We also have some grenadiers coming up behind. And the Kugelwagen armed with LMG-42 is a very potent mobile firing platform. Conscripts trying to push for the center here. But the Ostruppen are still holding. Very nice to see. Oh, Rifle took out the gunner on the Kugelwagen. Also to black for repairs. Storm Pioneers coming up and more Hitler Youth being assembled behind. Ostruppen are pushing up aggressively here. MG-42 coming up as well. The Grenadiers are providing a good fire support base here from this stone hedge, allowing the, well, stone hedge, stone fence, or whatever you want to call it. Grey coming up from the Ostruppen. The Soviets are not doing too well on their front. Not at all. And Kugelwagen is continuously being shut up, losing its gunner. Storm Pioneers are already up here behind cover though. They might be able to win out against this wounded American squad. But more blue and grey are preparing to move in. Oh, we also have MP-40Is being armed on the Storm Pioneers. If you actually arm them with a double of these double MP40s, they will actually be able to suppress with them. So that is a lot of potential firepower. Also being forced back by some artillery by the Soviet Union, I think. Yep, we have a Soviet artillery officer here. MT-42 has been set up though. Only with 2 men left, but that's still good enough. It has to turn to deal with the Americans. But I think the blue and grey... Oh no! They did get the grenade off, I think. No, they didn't! Oh, and then they get mowed down. Oh, that's horrible. Storm Pioneers back at the base. Kugelwagen taking some shots, having to pull back. We have an officer arriving for the Ostruppen, a lieutenant here. Pretty basic combat officer for the Wehrmacht. He's a 5-man squad, so this guy is actually a frontline officer. Always a useful thing to have. They can also be armed with the MP-38 by looks of it. Very fascinating. The precursor of the MP-40. So it looks like it's a little bit of an even fight on both sides. It's good to see. We have more MP40s being armed here on the Hitler Youth. Always good to see the MP40 being utilized. It's a pretty decent submachine gun and quite accurate on range. Fires in some pretty long bursts too, so very useful. There's the Hitler Youth digging in, probably preparing for that MG. So it's going to be an MG34. PTRD being armed on the Grenadiers for the Osthoben. Unique weapon available to them if you're playing as Ostdivision. It's essentially a Russian AT rifle just being used by Germans. Ostdivision gets a lot of stuff like that, in all honesty. Osthoben are still trying to keep the Russians at bay from their house. All on their own. They are being buffed by the Lieutenant, which gives them fast experience and more reload speed, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work out for them currently. So far it's looking okay. They are getting a few shots now and then, but now the MG42 is going to take their spot. And the Lieutenant is moving up, probably to call in some artillery. And indeed it is. Look at it, rapid barrage coming in. And some smoke. Very good timing there. Americans are trying to somewhat push up, but the Hitler Youth and the Waffen will just keep them at bay. Artillery being called in on the German position in return. Looks like we have an airdrop of weapons coming in for the US infantry. Should be a mortar and an AT gun, yep. Always a useful thing. House went down on this flank. 2-2-1 present for the Germans here. I don't think the Russians have anything at the moment to stop it, but they are getting assist free. Oh, I need to get some water here, if you'll excuse me. I do have my can of water here. Let me just fill up a glass. Russians are laying some mines. Very wise move. They are preparing in case they have to fall back. Looks like the Americans have a falling cannon here. Using the blue and grey to man the equipment. Always a good economical use of them. Because the blue and grey are pretty cheap for, as far as American infantry is concerned. 2-1 and Grenadiers are pushing up aggressively on the Soviet flank. Threatening the munitions point. Grenadiers have been marked though, making them easy to hit. Force them to pull back. Looks like there might have been fake barrage too coming in. Lots of Hitler Youth alongside an Ultrasturmführer here. Ordering to push forward. But I think the Americans might have too much firepower here. Yeah, those Hitler Youth have to get out of there. They're gonna die. MP40s are starting to show off their power though. Storm Pioneers pushing up with double MP40s. But out in the open they will get shut down. Russian position is still under fire. We do have an Su-76 coming out. Already being armed with high explosive shells. Always a good call for anti-infantry. And more Hitler Youth. Oh, and more Hitler Youth for dying. I don't think the Mthis is doing a very good economical choice there. They have to pull back with this officer and these Storm Pioneers, I think. The officer's pulling back. And I think the Storm Pioneers have to follow up on that. Osthoben are trying to take the point. But the S-76 might open fire. Oh! Artillery took out the gunner! Kubelwagen is gone. The Mthis have lost a lot of their stuff. Grenade assault going in. They have to get out of there though. Oh, will they get out of there though is the question. Looks like they will. And the Soviets are indeed not doing too well. The Allies have all had a little bit of trouble in this one. But the battle does look a lot more even than some of the other matches we've had. And MP-34 is gonna suppress these riflemen. Oh yeah, the MP-34 is just doing an amazing job on this flank. It is being smoked though, which is gonna allow the Americans to push up again. And the baseline is gonna get close enough to throw a pineapple, I think. Yep, pineapple going in. Oh, almost killing them entirely. Grenadiers are securing the front line of the Germans again. Hitler Youth for pushing up again with the MP-40s. But artillery is being called in on them. Wrong grenade, that might be a fragmentation. Yep, just a normal fragmentation, not an incendiary. The Hitler Youth do actually get access to incendiary grenades, which should not be underestimated. Oh, the artillery is just killing them too fast. MG-34 is still alive somehow. I guess this little car is protecting him a lot more than anyone thought it would. But he's trying to get out of there now. Yeah, there he goes. Most of them have been quite a bit of a pain on the flank, haven't they?
We have lost a squad.
I await your orders, Commandant.
Puma coming in for the Wehrmacht, T-44 for the Soviets. Germans are gonna have an issue now. They're gonna be facing tanks shortly. Storm Pioneers pushing up aggressively with the MP-40s. Great assault going out. But they're just being cut to pieces here by all the fire. Oh, what they did! But artillery is gonna try and destroy the American forward base. Didn't seem like it worked out though. So it's getting a more on their flank.
Mortar team has arrived.
Puma for the Wehrmacht. Untersturmführer headed to the front line, probably because there's no one else to do it. He's getting the fire for effect barrage. Not sure how the blue and grey will do against these Untersturmführer in the long run. More Hitler Youth coming up. Lots more MP-40s. Because we have a vertical though and are behind heavy cover. And I think they will win out thanks to the vertical, but it's hard to say. Because the Ostrom are also riding fire on the other flank here. This map actually allows the flanks to support each other a lot. Because of the short distance. We also have a Hauptmann here for the Ost Division. Much more higher ranked officer. Pack 40 is opening fire, but it's gonna fail. Oh yeah! One high explosive all it takes and it kills the crew. Yeah, I think the German position is in peril. More artillery going into the Germans.
Command Hauptrat has been converted into the headquarters building.
Also been used to man the pack.
Our brave infantry is dying.
Good shot, dazing the crew, but the conscripts will move up now. This Puma is being very, very brave. The Puma is not meant to fight T-34s at all. Yep. Penal troops have arrived, a penal battle group. SG-76 moving up. I think the Soviets might have what they need to push through now. And well, the Americans are also pushing up on the weak in the Mthis positions. Pineapple, and that's forcing them to run. Soviets are preparing to push up. But heavy artillery has been called in their path, but I don't think that'll deter them. Yeah, for Starling has been ordered, but the penals will get mowed down. They just won't get suppressed. fuel has been cut off because of this cut-off point. But I think the Hitler Youth will be able to resecure that. The MP40s will, I believe, work out here. And the MP40 is actually working out thanks to the officers also being present. Artillery is being called in their position. Oh, we have Romanians, I think. Oh, those Hungarians? I think those might be Romanians. Those are the 3rd Romanian army. Okay, that's a unit we rarely see. One of the unique call-ins you can get from playing as the Ostdivision. You actually get access to the Hungarians and Romanians as call-in. This is a unique little unit that we rarely see. A cool thing. Although I think the German position is somewhat in peril, but it's nice to see more variety from the Ostdivision. We also have some Leibstandarte coming in. Really good Panzer Grenadiers, probably one of the better Panzer Grenadiers in the game. Very expensive though. Can be out entirely with MP40s if you want. But only 40 munitions too, so that's quite an economical buy for a lot of automatic firepower. The officer is still holding on here. He could get out with the Sturmgewehrs or MP40s, depending on what he thinks is best. Artillery going in the machine gun. Oh, good mortar shot right there. Oh, he's lucky he's not dead. Romanians are gonna push up here, but I think they'll get hit by a high explosive like that. Oh, high explosive hit behind. Oh. Romanians are gonna have to pull back because of that. Sherman has also arrived. Panzerfaust going out, but they are out in the open without any cover now. Which is going to allow the Americans to just cut them down. I don't think the F1 can beat the Sherman unless this heat shot works out, and it does. But the turret's only jammed. And that's not good. And the T-34s are pushing up aggressively. Panzerfaust from the Romanians. Not doing much though. Oh, it's not looking good at all. The Soviets could just keep pushing up now with their high explosive Su-76. And the T-34s just keep piling on too.
We have a forward structure under attack.
I'm not sure what the Germans can do at this point. Replacement Leibstandarte coming in with a scoped STG. Storm Pioneers are trying to reman that pack, I think. I think as the Americans have pulled back somewhat to repair that Sherman, probably the best time to do it. Germans are pushing up again. Oh, they're losing all the AT equipment. They have gotten a Panzer 4H though. Leibstandarte and the officer crew. With just Lucas. Oh god, and an MP40 on the officer. They need to get that tank repaired and get back inside. Panzer 480 is gonna have its work cut out for it. There's a lot of Soviet vehicles on the field here. Leibstandarte is being very, very suicidal here. As you would expect of the SS. More Americans are coming here. That officer has to get back. Yeah, he's just dying if he's still gonna stay there. And I'm not sure how well these guys will do with just pistols and one MP40. Actually, not too bad. The MP40 is already getting some good shots in. And they are behind heavy cover, and the Americans are out in the open. But now they're being suppressed. Force them to pull back. And probably get killed out in the open. Yep.
We've lost a squad of infantry.
More Panzer Grenadiers being called in. Ost Division is really in trouble, I think. More penal troops are being prepared in the rear, probably preparing for a big push. Romanians veterancy free somehow. And they're still trying to hold on here. Artillery coming in though. Hitting and destroying the pack crew. A2 pushing up here now with the bulldozer blades. The Soviets and the Americans have what they need. They just need to act on it. Lifestyle trying here around here using their scope Sturmgewehrs. White phosphorus going in. Let's see, Romanians are still holding on in their little position here. Ostrom getting killed by a flamethrower. High explosives are coming out from the Panzer IV-H. In for that Maxim, I think. Did not hit. T-34 is going to load a heat shell. Oh, it did not hit either. But I think the Panzer IV is just going to be overrun here if it stays. We have a ram going. That's a bit too far of a ram. You don't want a ram when you're that close. But the Panzer IV is in trouble. Romain's going to move up to try and Panzerfaust, I think. Oh my god, the Panzer IV is still alive somehow. There it goes. Oh, now artillery going in from the United States, I think? Oh, that's the Soviet howitzer. It's a 122mm howitzer. Yeah, the Germans don't have what they need. And the Allies are just pushing up aggressively now. Crew dazed and the T-34 thanks to the pack. So the pack is still doing something, that's good to see. Is that a Pack 38? It is, there's a Pack 38, not a Pack 40. It's just, it doesn't have a separate model because Common Heroes 2 does not allow unique models, which is a big shame. I see the bug is still here where this becomes a command tank basically. I think? Yeah, it does become a command tank, which makes no sense. Was that a satchel? It was! Oh, destroying both command trucks! That's gonna hurt the SS a lot. They are essentially down to nothing. Most is calling in Panzer Grenadiers just to try and delay the inevitable. But I don't think it's gonna work. And before this are killing the blue and grey though. But yeah, the Shermans are just gonna push in and the Soviets should just get their own weapons to support. We're still trying to flank with a Panzerfaust. Getting it off. We now have the 25th. very unique Panzergrenadier unit only available to the Ost Division. But I don't think they'll last for long with all the stuff coming in. Generally a very costly investment good to get the 25th. But I think they're cool. More Hitler Youth coming out too. The Germans are just holding on to the ends. Yeah, the Germans are holding on to the ends somehow. At this point, I think it's pretty inevitable that they've lost though. Explosives being loaded on the T-44. I think it's aimed for the Hauptmann. Oh, it ain't aimed for the buildings, okay. But I think the Soviets and the Americans just need to push. But I think they're just being too cautious about it. There's really no need to be. You're bombing the base with artillery and everything. It's practically over.
Our HQ is under attack.
Good attempt though by the Germans, but a little bit too much for them to handle. More white phosphorus coming in too. We also have a ram going in. You should never ram too far away though. Panzerfaust from the 25th did destroy that. Oh, high explosive though from the other German killing them. They just need to destroy the last truck and this is over. And that goes. And victory for the Allies. And I'll see you all in the next one.